Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining today's live webinar. We have a very special session today, and sorry for a little bit of delay. We had a technical issues from our guest speaker, and we are trying to resolve that. So please stay calm, and we're going to be starting very soon. And I will add our guest to the stage. So today we are having a special event and talking about mindfulness for life, daily habits to build resilience and a positive mindset. So when you talk about resilience and mindfulness for a positive mindset, you need to think about a lot of things, okay? And can you do that? And how can you do that? So two different things, your capacity and you training, I would say. So specifically, when you think about daily lives, daily habits, mindfulness, resilience, all together, sometimes it could be mismatched. And you need someone to guide you through. And we're going to be talking today end to end for how you can have a mindfulness in your life and how you can grow it to capture more work, capture happiness, and a lot of other things. So we're just waiting for our guest to uh, solve the technological problems, and we will add her to the stage very soon. So you probably know from my profile, I'm Dr. Shah Siddiqui from Time Research and Innovation, JNC Marketing Agency, and Neurodivergent Business Consortium. Due to my neurodiversity, you know, I intend to do few things at the same time. So I might attract you specifically in something today and maybe doing something different tomorrow. But that is my characteristics. And I wanted to do things in a systematic way. And I prioritize my work to being a systematic person. And when I was talking to working with Julie Gordon today, that is our special guest, we talk about a lot of different things, working together, mentoring her, creating technology for her, and end-to-end process. So as a neurodivergent person myself and working with her, it was different. Uh, and we have come across struggles, we have come across a lot of different things, but at the end, we maintained a healthy relation, mentees, and working together as business collaborators now. So Julie has lots to offer, and we're going to be launching Julie's next website. Uh, Another program is in 28th of February. So um, we're going to be talking about her specific um, expertise. So she is a menopause trainer, as well as she trained for mindfulness and motorsports. So three specific domains to talk about and train specifically. So we got her. I think Julie is listening to me. So I think Julie, we can enter to this stage with your portrait version rather than finalizing or waiting longer. Is it the things that we do? So I cannot see your second camera. So uh, with the I cannot see your second camera. I can only see your first camera. I can see your keyboard on the second camera. So she's just fixing the error for us. So that's sometimes you may have technical issues, and you need to be calm and patience, because when you have technical issues and you are on a live channel, live broadcast, yeah, you should panic, but I wouldn't panic, because technical issues can happen anytime in your lives. And that's why you need mindfulness. That's why you need all the things that you wanted to do. So, Jolie, I can see your laptop on the second camera. I can see your face on the first camera. So, she's just sorting this out. So, when you work with different target audience, you know more, you learn more. I was talking to one of my business partners on the other day, and I was talking to him that when you born and the time you start learning things, there isn't any turning off from there, because if you have mental capacity, you learn until you die. And I work with many people uh, in the landscape that they are over the retire age, 75 and more than that, and they are still working. So that's the thing that mindfulness kicks in. So I will add Julie. Julie, shall I add you? So you just need to do your camera a little bit towards you, and then I can add you to the stage. So don't worry about that too much. We are happy with the portrait version. Um, we're just gonna wait a few more seconds. In the meantime, I just wanted to let you know that if you wanted to ask any question to Julie, feel free to ask through the comment box, and and we're going to be trying to answer those questions. So Julie is back. So excuse us for that. So I'm just going to add Julie to the stage. Thank you, Julie. Hello, how are you today, Julie?
Thank you. I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay?
I can. So don't worry about that. We're going to be keeping this UI. So most of the time, we will not see the black spaces on your screen. Okay. So most of all, you probably know Julie for such a long time. She's on social media. Your camera again went back to the other thing. So you need to straight your camera because it's not landscaped. Yes, you need to straight your camera, Julie. Yes, you are in right. So don't worry about that too much now. I think our conversation will lead this to a success rather than fixing the technical issues now. We know.
I do apologise.
No, that's okay. Don't worry about that. So if you can point this, camera a little bit steady.
What I'm going to do is I can put it back to where it was, but I couldn't get it on to start with. So
Okay.
if I pop it up here, is
Yeah,
that okay up there?
but we cannot see your face. Now we can see your face. So you need to put the camera steady like this, and we will start our conversation.
Okay. I do apologise. I think we've.
No,
I think
that's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. So let's
yes,
start with
right. This is where mindfulness comes in very handy.
this is I think that's a good lesson that I was talking to, because specifically you work with neurodivergent people, you work with menopausal men and women, and you work with children, so you probably know that how to calm it down. I have learned these skills quite sometimes now. Still, some of the days it goes out of my hands. I become unsettled, but most of the time, if it's technology issue, I would say, okay, that's fine. Don't worry about that. We're going to be sorting it out, and we're going to be doing a good job. So today we're going to be doing a good job. So I will give another introduction to Julie. So Julie Gordon is a menopause, mindfulness, and motorsports mentor and coach. So she has her understanding in these three of these fields, and she capture the original knowledge, and as well as leading to success. And mindfulness is the core that we're going to be talking today. So today we're going to be talking mindfulness for life, daily habits, and build resilience, a positive mind. And thank you everyone for watching this live, and we do apologize for the technology mismatch, but next time we'll make sure that everything is working fine, because we're going to be doing lots of lives next few months with Julie. And if I give an introduction of myself, I'm Dr. Shah Siddiqui from Time Research and Innovation, Zenzi Marketing Agency, and New Direction Business Consortium. I work with people, businesses, for my methodology, end-to-end methodology, and support them from thinking business development to the marketplace. So that is my work, and I'm working with Julie, and we are working together to create the next challenge, and to solve a problem. So Julie, thank you very much. If you could introduce yourself to the audience, that would be fabulous.
Hello. It's great to be here with you, sharing the time that you've chose to spend with us. So I'm Julie Gordon, founder of Retrain Your Brain, and it's all about our well-being and keeping our mind healthy, and actually keeping it healthy rather than having to deal with mind ill health. So it's to do mindfulness practices every day to keep our minds healthy.
Mhm. Julie, we're going to be talking about mindfulness. I'm going to be asking you set up questions. And before I jump into the questions, can you tell us why we need mindfulness and why it is important to think about mindfulness before anything else?
It's with mindfulness, it's being in the moment. Everything is 1,000 miles an hour,
Mhm.
and we're so busy, and we're doing different things, different times for different people, and we need to concentrate on ourselves as well, because you
Mhm.
you can't help other people unless you've got time for yourself. And I always remember my first mentor saying to me, what do you do for yourself? And I thought, I haven't got time.
Okay.
I haven't got time to think about that, until I started to learn and
Mhm.
then share mindfulness. And it is so important, because we're the most important person, because then we can help others. So
Yes.
to incorporate mindfulness, because it keeps our mind calm, it keeps our reactions calm, and we can think so much more clearer.
That's the core thing, isn't it? As a technologist myself, I have neurodiversity. So you know that a neurodivergent person is really, they are not very good at keeping their mind cool. And in my childhood, I was agitated very quickly. And but with long training and working with people that you said, your mentor said, I become now stable. And without going proper training, understanding, and laying the bricks and foundation out, I wouldn't come to this stage. So there is a possibility for even neurotypical people to break the bias. Like, okay, if you are not settled, you need to learn the tactics. And working with you last several months, I learned few things that was an error before. So thank you very much for giving me tips, tricks, and all the things. And working with you, learn a lot of different things. and that is will come handy in the future. So to all the audience, we are working to launch the Retain Your Brain new, I would say, updated technological innovation. So with Retain Your Brain, we will have different thing, and you will love it. And we are working to create the next masterpiece. And I will jump into my question. And I wanted to say thank you to all the people. Harun Rabbani Bhai, thank you very much. You said a great topic to discuss, Shah. Thank you. And all the people you are sending messages here, thank you very much for joining today's webinar. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask, and we will try to answer them after our initial discussion. So my first question to you would be, can you give a overview of the mindfulness principles, like in few words? I think that's to set the background, and then we will jump into more specific questions.
So the mindfulness principles is all about living in the moment. So when you drive past on the motorway and you've gone past the junction, and it's
Mhm,
because you're not fully present, so it's because you're not paying attention. So it's
mhm,
living in the moment so we don't miss anything. um I'll try in a few words.
mhm,
um it's the principles. Another one is being non-judgmental,
mhm.
so others, but also to ourselves, because we're so hard on ourselves. We need to be
Yes.
kinder.
Mhm,
Kinder to ourselves. um Gratitude. If we're in gratitude, you can't feel anger, you can't feel anything else apart from being in that gratitude.
mhm,
So being grateful for things, actively thinking of things, really helps our well-being.
mhm.
Acceptance. um,
Okay.
Acknowledge the experience rather than judging it as good or bad.
Mhm,
And letting go, let go of things. If someone said something, let it
mhm.
go. Let them keep hold of it. Don't take it with you. Don't
Great.
carry, don't carry it with you because it weighs you down. So
Mhm.
let them keep hold of it,
Okay.
and having a beginner's mind, because wouldn't it be great if we could see things like a child does through their eyes when they see something for the first time,
Mhm,
and they're living in a world of like fascination, appreciation, and curiosity and
mhm,
attention, because we lose it when we get to through adults. We lose that, but we need to keep hold of it for our well-being.
mhm. So, you know, when you talk about let it go, some people, they do not want to let it go. And that's the worst thing starts from there. Sometimes we think that um, answering such things will create success. But uh, it also varies your judgment, isn't it? Like which situation you can let it go and which situation you will protest. Because when you are in a situation and you see that someone is bullying you, yes, you need to protest, but in a way, let it go away. Yes, I'm protesting it to let you know that this is not right, but I'm escaping now because I don't want it to start new
Mm,
arguments. So, some people, they don't even think, okay, someone is bullying them or someone is very critical to them, and they are doing the same thing to the other them. So that's not the way. That shouldn't be the way. So thank you very much for your um, overview of the mindfulness. My next question would be, how mindfulness supports resilience and positivity in daily lives.
Resilience is being able to adapt to challenges and setbacks.
Mhm,
Positivity is celebrating the small stuff. So it's the
Yes.
small wins, because they're really important to like give you the motivation to carry on.
Mm-hmm.
Replacing the negative thoughts with encouraging thoughts and supportive um, internal dialogue, because the voice in our head is very powerful and we need to control that.
Mm-hmm. That's fascinating, Julie. Uh, you know, when you talk about resilience, it's a huge field, isn't it? And when you taught resilience and with human character, it's also difficult for many people to understand how they could be resilient. Okay. And that's time person like you kicked in, isn't it? To teach them the actual meaning of resilience. And it's not like that I will be resilient in the future, but how do I do that? There's another point. And you have the tricks and tactics to talk to people and giving them the understanding um, how they can be resilient in the future, isn't it? So thank you very much, and thank you everyone for joining today's live webinar. I have Julie Gordon with me, and we're going to be talking you through next half an hour and so on. And we have many questions still now. Uh, I just gonna ask few of the questions that our audiences asked. And Noreen, you asked, how can mindfulness help in managing stress and anxiety um, effectively?
How can it help in reducing stress and anxiety?
Yes.
Um, it's it's key. There's been lots of research, actually.
Mhm,
There's been lots of research into the reducing of stress and also the anxiety side. Um, using the tools and techniques,
mhm,
it is great to have a start at reducing the stress or managing the stress.
mhm,
Actually, what also needs to be done is finding what is actually causing the stress
mhm,
and what the triggers are for the anxiety. So that's really key to, and it's a work in progress. It doesn't happen overnight.
mhm,
It's not um, it's not something that is a quick fix and a quick fix. It takes work and time and effort that goes into it. That
mhm,
then you become more aware, so you can reduce the stress and you can manage anxiety better. So
mhm.
you can do it with mindfulness.
Okay. And
Everyone's individual, so everyone's sorry to
no, 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 carry on, carry on.
yeah, everyone's individual, so it's all, that's a very specific thing, so it would be on an individual basis, because there's so many scenarios
Mhm,
that goes with that. So working with an individual to to work through that is key, rather than sort of generalizing.
thank you. Thank you. So I have the similar correspondence questions. Like, before you jump into mindfulness, as I said, you need to understand why does it matter? I know you have answered a little bit of that questions. Can you dive into details why it is matter?
So because mindfulness helps us step out of the autopilot. We're
Hmm.
in autopilot an awful lot, and you don't even realize it, but we do
Hmm.
an awful lot on autopilot. So mindfulness helps us come back to being in the moment. So
Hmm.
it it then frees up mind space for awareness, so
Hmm.
we can change reacting to response.
Hmm.
So we can change the way that we behave as well.
Yeah.
So and the difference that it makes to us is that, so it matters because it gives us the control back. Sometimes we can feel like we're not in control of our
Hmm.
life, so it can give us the control back in life. It makes us feel happier, be more confident and successful,
Hmm.
building more fulfilling relationships is key to well-being.
Hmm.
And creating the work home life balance is crucial.
Okay. Thank you very much, Julie. And thank you everyone for joining today's live webinar. I'm Dr. Shah Siddiqui from Time Research and Innovation, Zenzi Marketing Agency, and Neurodivergent Business Consortium. And you're watching this live on LinkedIn and all other social media. And we have Julie Gordon from Retain Your Brain. So Julie Gordon is a coach, and she trained people on menopause, mindfulness, and motorsports. She has wealth of knowledge. Working together, I'm also learning from her and creating the next masterpiece. So if you wanted to know more about Julie Gordon, feel free to keep an eye on her social feeds, LinkedIn, and other social media. And there are lots of things coming up in next couple of months. We are working together to create the next masterpiece, and you will love it. So Julie, thank you very much for joining today's webinar and adding the value to our audience. So if you wanted to ask Julie a question, feel free to ask through the comment box. We already have few questions and we're going to be asking them. But if Julie answers some of the questions, we're not going to answer them anyway. But keep an eye, and please write your questions on the comment box, and please share this webinar with your friends, because you can watch it on the replay. So it will be handy for your family members, colleagues, and community. Like mindfulness we need right now, because the world is full of tension. We have tension in the community. We have tension all the time, how our direct debits will go. We have tension for war, is 2 3 wars happening at the right time. Some of them we do get agitated due to our religion. Some of us we get agitated due to our supporting a specific community. But you know, everything that you do, you need to think about yourself. If your mind is nicer, if your mind is calm, you will think nicer, not harming people in a way that is happening all over the world. So Julie, thank you very much. You are creating the next generation, and I'm very grateful that we are collaborating together. So thank you very much. So I will ask you my next question, and I have a question from Harun Rabbani Bhai. So I will ask them a little bit later, but I can also ask it. So Harun said, I'm just gonna add them to my screen. Uh, so to what extent have large organizations adopt mindfulness training and development and practice?
In a large organization,
Yes.
it is absolutely feasible to be able to put mindfulness workshops in a large organization. There can be workshops for managers and leaders to be able to use, and actually mindfulness has a ripple effect. So
Mhm.
it has a ripple effect on everyone, you know,
Mhm.
because then you start talking to people, you know, within your household, and it really grows. But within the businesses, um, it is key to have, you know, people going in
Mhm.
and talking about how to incorporate mindfulness into
Hmm.
their work life. And yeah, it's you can have like um, a day sessions, or you can have hourly sessions, like a lunch and learn.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's very, very easy to implement even with larger organizations.
Thank you, Julie. And to Harun, thank you very much for asking the questions and watching today's live. We are working to create some packages for the SMEs and big corporations, because this kind of mindfulness session is not, you can't do it crowded. It has to be selective people in different days, that a small bunch of people working together and then creating the atmosphere to get them calm. And as Julie said, it could be lunchtime, it could be any other time, but having a few, maybe an hour or half an hour time to practice it, because mindfulness is not like that. You will just talk about it and you have it. No, you need to practice it. You need to control your emotion. You need to have a specific way to tailor the methodology, and Julie has that tactics and she can do that. So we are creating some packages. So that Harun Rabbani, we also work together, and we are going to be working together to extend our network. And um, to the viewers, that we have come up with a solution, Sales Funnel Accelerator. And with Sales Funnel Accelerator, we're going to be working with many of the business growth coaches. And one of them is Julie Garden and Harun Rabbani, and we have other people joined in. So we're going to be working together to create the next stable workforce, or next stable business. So keep an eye on our space, and we will update you time to time. And Julie, I just wanted to jump to my next question to you. Uh, how does mindfulness contribute to mental clarity?
So our thoughts make us feel a certain way, that make us behave a certain way. And mindfulness helps us feel calmer, and to manage the thoughts better, you can then regulate your emotions better. So it has a, it's all connected. It all has a knock-on effect.
Hmm. Okay. I have one question from our audience. I'm just going to show you that. What are some mindfulness habits for better sleep and relaxations?
Meditation is really good. Was it for sleep? Sorry, I didn't catch the
Yes.
last bit. For
Sleep
sleep.
and relaxations.
An evening routine is is a key for sleep. And to one thing that is really on top of the list is no gadgets,
Hmm.
like an hour before sleep,
Hmm.
no checking emails, no, no looking at the phone. Um, Preferably, if you can put the phone in another room,
Hmm.
fantastic. Um, but then you can have a meditation, listen to a meditation or a podcast, or um, before sleep. So
Hmm.
either reading as well before
Hmm.
sleep, but not the gadgets.
Okay. That's a great answer, Julie. Our daily lives nowadays is attached to not only one gadgets, many gadgets. I never have television on my bedroom, and we agreed, me and my wife, that we won't have television on our bedrooms. Or with gadgets is also, yes, we need to turn the gadget in silent mode, because we use it for um, alarm. So we need to wake up in the morning purposes, but only that purposes. Some people, they do like, okay, they are waking up and they're going to be seeing the gadgets. They are going sleep, they're going to be seeing the gadgets, and everything they do, going toilet. And some people, they even take the gadgets to their toilets. Not some people, many people, I know. But we have a thing that,
Mm.
okay, if you're going to the toilet, is hygienic purpose, you shouldn't take the gadget with you to the toilet, because toilet, yes, some people, they will read books. That's okay. If you think that that is helpful, that's fine. But no gadgets, because gadget will not give you the concentration that you wanted to do in any places. So thank you for adding that with our audience. And thank you everyone for joining today's live webinar. And we have Julie Gordon from Retain Your Brain. We're going to be coming up with many other live webinar. And one of them, I just wanted to give you that information. And I will ask one of my team to share that with you. We will have another session with new launch, Retain Your Brain, uh, with Julie Gordon. So we have another live webinar, 28th of uh, February, and we're going to be launching Retain Your Brain, new websites and web app, I would say, the things that we are working um, um, 5 months now. And we're going to be launching that on a webinar. So keep an eye with this. And if you wanted to talk to Julie, feel free to message her through LinkedIn. And as well as she has an email address with Julie Gordon at retainyourbrain.com. So you can also find it on her website as well as on her LinkedIn. And we are working together to create the next breakthrough. And you know that we will break through and we will be successful together. So thank you very much, Julie, for your time today. And viewers, you're watching this live webinar. Also, thank you. And thank you for your question. I will now ask you my next question. You know, neuroscience, scientific evidence, we talk about that. So do you have any thing to add on the scientific evidence of mindfulness?
I love this bit.
Mhm.
I love the neuroscience. So there's three facts that that's it really makes you think then that this isn't something that is that people do and don't get any benefit from. This is why people benefit. So fact number one is neuroplasticity. I
Plasticity.
knew I won't be able to say it.
Right.
Is the brain's ability. It's the brain's ability to rewire. And the fact number two, the brain is made up of neuropathways.
Mhm.
So a network that transmits signals and information. And fact number three, new neural connections form when exposed to new experiences, resulting in the brain's increased elasticity. So we can actually help our brain do
Mhm.
that by a simple exercise that we can
Okay.
incorporate in daily life, and it takes no extra time.
Mhm.
And that's brushing your teeth with the opposite hand.
Okay.
So when you brush your teeth with the opposite hand, it's putting you in that awkward and uncomfortable space,
Mhm.
but safely. But what it's doing is that it's training your brain that, because to start with, your brain would be like, whoa, that's not right. That's not comfortable. You need to put it back in the other hand. But to continue doing that, your brain gets to, it retrains thinking that actually it's okay.
Mhm.
Nothing's happened.
Mhm.
So then when you try new experiences, your brain doesn't automatically shut it down and be like,
Mhm.
no, no, can't possibly do that, because you've trained your brain to be open to
Hmm.
try experiences.
Hmm.
So you'll still have the safety part there. So it will still throw in thoughts like, don't know about this,
Hmm.
but it will be much easier to be able to actually do them. So it's not gonna like put that barrier up to stop you doing it. So this is a way to create those new pathways um, and yeah, and to build that, and then you can do it with other things. But do it within the household. Let everyone join in. Tell everyone at work. Let everyone join in doing it.
Hmm.
And yeah, and then I'd love to know, yeah, how you got on.
So we have a challenge to the audience. We're going to be having many episodes, as I said. So it's a challenge to you to train yourself to do something that you are not usually will do it. You're not Julie. I talk about neuroplasticity all the time as a neurodivergent person myself, and being having a brain tumor surgery, um, and getting my left side very weak. And if I don't tell people, they don't notice it because I train my brain to listen with my one ear. So I'm deaf in the other. So if I do not tell them, they will not notice. So I train my brain. So anything that will happen, it has to come to my right side. Another thing, people say that, okay, you have a brain tumor surgery, and if you wanted to do brain work, it can damage your nerves. I never believe that. I never ever believe that. So after my brain tumor surgery, I engaged with more brain work. Anything that I do now is all brain work. So my brain learned how to modify it with neuroplasticity and how I can engage it with. I have a recent example of my wife's. She broken her legs in pieces. She was on bed rest still. She's in a crutch. She's not training her leg to become normal because after 4 months, her neuroplasticity was dimmed. Now she's training her leg to become normal. So these are the way neuroplasticity can grow you. It doesn't matter. Some people, they would say, oh, I don't want you to do it. Oh, I hate it to do it. If you hate it, your brain will hate it, just like you said, added, like, okay, you're going to be uncomfortable anyway. But if you try gradually, if you tell your mind that, okay, you are capable, then you are capable. Otherwise, you are not. So thank you very much, Julie, for adding this core information. That is my favorite subject, neuroplasticity, to talk about. And with mindfulness, your neuroplasticity will grow in a different way. You will find that you can walk more. You will find that you can think better. You can find that your healthy habits will grow. So a lot of different things are attached to it. So thank you everyone for joining today's live webinar. And we are talking about mindfulness today. And we have Julie Garden from Retain Your Brain. So if you wanted to talk to her, feel free to DM her from social media and as well as with emails. She runs a regular session one-to-one as well as group sessions. And we're going to be talking about that at the last segment of our webinar. Before I jump into other questions, I just wanted to ask you, my next questions is developing a positive mindset. How could you do that?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. You went off a little
You
bit
know,
then.
developing a positive mindset.
Um, so shift your thoughts when a negative thought pops in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tell it to go away,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm not listening. Um, because it's stopping it in its tracks before it's you're really sort of taking notice of it. So shifting those negative thoughts, because the more you do that, the more you train your brain that you're not going to listen to those.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, stop, or whatever words you would like to choose to say. Um, but it is really important because they will become less.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you do that, the more you practice that, the more they will reduce. Um, Self-compassion, being kind to yourself, is so important. If you wouldn't say it to your 4-year-old self, don't say it to yourself now.
Mm-hmm.
Acknowledge what you can control,
Mm-hmm.
and accept that you can't change other people,
Mm-hmm.
and surround yourself with people that love and respect you.
Mm-hmm. That's a great example, Julie, because self respect is the core thing to do great work. If you do not self respect yourself, no one else will respect you. Because few things that I was recording the Innovator Circle podcast. Recently launched a new podcast, and I do record C-level executives all over the world. So I have recorded a few interviews, and yesterday I was talking to Christian Viona. He does properties investments as well as engage in mentorships and coaching business. So one thing we discussed is you need to self-respect and self-trust yourself, then go out. Because if you do not self-respect yourself, self-trust yourself, then there is no meaning of lives. So thank you very much for adding that value to our audience. We are nearly end of our session, so we're going to have a few more questions to ask. And if you wanted to ask any more questions, please feel free to ask us through the comment box, and we will try to answer them um, uh, if we have any more time. So my next questions to you would be mindfulness in professional life, why it is important, and if you can dive into that for professionalism and mindfulness together, because I think Harun asked you work balance, and we have another questions about work balance as well uh, from Redwan. He said, I'm just going to share with you that questions with you. So, can mindfulness be applied in the workplace to improve productivity and focus? I think these two questions are interrelated. So, if you could ask, that
Yeah,
would be fabulous.
I was just about to say absolutely that it can really, it focuses your attention and increases productivity.
Mm-hmm.
And also, when you have happier people in the workplace, the sickness is reduced. So
Mm-hmm.
you've got wins there already.
Mm-hmm.
um bringing mindfulness in, there's so many different ways that you can do that benefit um colleagues and managers, business owners. And
Mm-hmm.
it's doing the little things to help yourself. So one thing that you can incorporate, if you're on calls, if you've got back-to-back call, if you've been sitting quite a lot, um, is to, and you can even do this while you're on a call, and you can stretch your legs out. Just stretch your legs. So we're talking movement, any kind of movement. So stretching your legs out, moving your ankles, so rotating them,
Mm-hmm.
lifting one leg up at a time. So it's getting the body moving, stretching. So so when if you've been sat at the desk for a while, then do some stretches. get everyone to join in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, stretch your arms up to the back, to the front, loosen your shoulders, just so getting rid of sort of the tense muscles makes you relax better. And again, for better focus. Um, if you've got a task that you really want to chuck the computer out,
Mm-hmm.
but before you do that, um, if you remove yourself and go and do something completely different
Mm-hmm.
and then come back to it, it's like seeing it with fresh eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So again, what you're doing is you you've got that like more laser focus, and you create creativity towards it as well, and it's not so overwhelming as it was before.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really good thing to do. 2 minutes silence
Mm-hmm.
in the morning. If you put the kettle on, you could go to a quiet room and just have 2 minutes silence. Just let your brain recalibrate and reset, and
Mm-hmm.
do that during the day. Now, with some brains don't like that. They
Mm-hmm.
have to be active. So tapping, doing something. So tapping is relaxing, but it's also keeping sort of movement going. So there's lots of sort of different tools and techniques which, it's trying them out and see what works for you. Um, so yeah, a calm mind. Um, then when you've got a calm mind, you do get more creative towards your tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and mindful listening to colleagues um, will with new ideas and thinking of things that you wouldn't have necessarily even thought of before. So um, actively mindfully listening to colleagues as well, each other, is key.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you very much for your time today and talking to our audience. And I hope they have enjoyed today. We are nearly end of our session. I'm just going to ask you another question, and we will end the session with the takeaways. So we're not going to ask any more questions. I just have just last question from me. Overcoming common challenges in mindfulness. How do you overcome common challenges?
It's with mindfulness, overcoming the challenges, I would say. There's lots of misconceptions,
Mm-hmm.
and people will say, "Oh, mindfulness is easy." You know, um, actually, it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's time and effort and practice, practice, and more practice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and daily habits are simple to include into the daily routine, and it's keeping it consistent. Consistency is key
Mm-hmm.
to keep on top of keeping your mind healthy, to
Yes.
prevent, like as I said earlier, to prevent mind ill health,
Mm-hmm.
and to manage setbacks. If you've missed um, a day of doing them, if you've missed 2 days of doing them, start now. Start again. Start now. Guilt free. You've missed you've missed a day. You've missed 2 days. That's okay. Start now, and then but guilt free, because we're also very good at carrying guilt along the way.
Mhm.
So yeah, so it's just starting from now.
Thank you, Julie. We are just nearly end of our session. So at the end, we ask our guest to maybe give some takeaways. So if you could discuss the takeaways from these events, and until then, our next events, what are the takeaways from this session?
I would say that it doesn't matter how you're feeling, whether you think that you're feeling low, that nothing is going to help you.
Hmm.
Try, and maybe you need someone to help you keep on track and find out what works for you. But if you haven't already tried it, then the way to know whether it is working for you is because you'll have that mind space, your well-being will, people will notice the difference in you,
Hmm.
in your well-being, and you'll feel more in control. So it's just starting. Just do one daily habit to incorporate in your daily routine. So start with the brushing of the teeth,
Hmm.
and and then and do it for 28 days, because it takes 28 days to become a habit. So don't try and think, oh, I've got to do all of this. I've got to do the 2 minutes silence. I've got to do the brushing the teeth. I've got to do the breathing um, exercises, or don't take on too much. Just start with one thing
Hmm.
and do that for the 28 days.
Thank you very much, Julie. And thank you, everyone, for joining today's live webinar. I'm Dr. Shah Siddiqui from Time Research and Innovation, Sensi Marketing Agency and New Divergent Business Consortium. And we have Julie Gordon from Retain Your Brain. And as I informed you earlier, we have another events at the 28th of February to launching the Retain Your Brain site. Please keep an eye, and as well as register, because we're going to be talking more about mindfulness and menopause and motorsports. So thank you, Julie, for your contribution today, and thank you everyone for your questions and joining today's webinar. So please stay on the line. I will say just bye bye to the audience, and then I will say you bye bye offline. So it was a pleasure talking to you, Julie, today, and I hope we have added value with your daily habits. And as you're working, or you're not working, you as a housewife, or you do not work, mindfulness is needed for anything that you do. So Julie Gordon, reach her if you wanted to do one-to-one session or work for your business. Feel free to reach her, and we will come up with the packages and all other things by 28th of February. So there is more to select and more to talk about. So I have few more live webinar this week and following week. Please stay tuned on our space, and as well as register any events that it is resonating with you, because we do sales and marketing, business development, and all other mix and match program for you. So we're going to be having a audio event next week for 360-degree marketing. So stay tuned and register for the events. Until Friday, I wanted to say you bye bye, and thank you everyone for joining today's live webinar. Bye bye, and see you